The following program is made possible with the support of Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. With 5 locations in the Wilmington area, Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients. Always had them, always will. Wilmington International Airport. Committed to a relaxed, enjoyable flying experience. Now offering daily nonstop flights to Charlotte, New York, and Philadelphia with American Airlines, and Atlanta with Delta. Details at flyilm.com. Ruby Tuesday at Monkey Junction, featuring uncompromising freshness and quality and gracious hospitality. Ruby Tuesday at Monkey Junction, the perfect place for your next casual dining experience. And PortCityDaily.com. You can do without the paper, but you can't do without the news. PortCityDaily.com is your online local news source for Wilmington and the surrounding Cape Fear region.
Hey football fans, welcome to a fresh edition of Sports Roundtable, our weekly look at high school football across New Hanover County. I'm Joe Katz. Tonight we'll focus on week 8 of the high school football season, hopefully getting back to some type of normalcy as we head into Friday night. Weather permitting, we'll have games as scheduled finally back on a Friday. Going back to this past week and some of the games being played across New Hanover County, a quick rundown. Back on Monday, New Hanover defeated Laney 30-14. Burke Estes completed 21 of 28 pass attempts for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jemias Beckett found the end zone twice for the Laney Bucks, including a 55-yard run untouched up the middle for Laney. New Hanover, again, pulled out a 30-14 win over Laney. We'll catch up with the coach Ashad Yeoman of the Laney Bucks in just a minute. The Ashley Screaming Eagles homecoming night out in Monkey Junction. They pull out a 21-7 victory over Topsail. Ashley took advantage of 3 early turnovers. Caleb Parker rushed for 144 yards on the ground. Bradley Plyer had 2 touchdowns in the win for the Screaming Eagles. The Hoggard Vikings had the week off as they get ready to host the Buccaneers of Laney coming up on Friday. We'll actually catch up with a couple of players from Hoggard later on in the show. That'll bring us to our first guest, and that's Laney head coach Ashad Yeoman. And Coach Yeoman, I know coming off a tough loss against New Hanover, but with that said, some positives that you could probably take from that game. And this is the first time in 2 weeks, I guess, we're catching up. You've been 1-1 since the last time we've chatted due to the weather changes and a win over South Brunswick 38-zip, and then falling to New Hanover back on Monday.
Yeah, it's been tough, with the weather and the changes in the schedule, but the kids have done a great job of, focusing in and handling the task at hand. Going back with that South game, they started out pretty well. We started out pretty slow. At halftime, it was 10-7, but we ended up picking it up in the end. We had 3 interceptions on the defensive side to help get the ball, and that helped quite a bit.
Well, you were able to get a turnover, too, against the New Hanover Wildcats on a sack forced fumble. Unfortunately, you gave it back on the next possession. But as we get to, I guess, some of the highlights, we'll show you highlights from both the South game, a 38-0 win, and then in the setback to the Wildcats. And why don't you take us through these set of plays as we see Laney in white.
Yeah, this was the first drive. They were driving the ball on us pretty well. Had a few penalties to help them out, and then Eli Boone, one of my junior corners, ended up stepping up in front of a pass and getting us off the field. So they South started out real well. They did a great job of driving the field and executing their game plan, and then Boone came up with a big play to get some momentum going in our direction. And then here's another play here by Kemel Bloodworth, one of my junior linebackers. We were faking the stunt, and then we came out of it, and he threw it right to him. And then on offense, it's just a sophomore here. He did a great job of making that play and getting some yards after the catch. We've been, filling in some guys here and there, through attrition and injuries, and trying to, get some pieces together. The drive ended up stalling out. We had a few penalties to drive us back a little bit, and we went for the field goal to get the lead at 3-0. I believe that was the score there. And then again, coming up big on the defensive side of the ball, threw it right over the middle to one of my safeties. He's just a 9th grader, Sherrod Sidbury, and he did a great job of stepping in front of that pass and doing his job and executing the defense.
Gerardo's had some huge highlights so far this year, just as a youngster out there for you.
Oh yeah, he's stepped into the role really well. We ended up starting him out at JV, trying to get him some reps down there to get him some confidence, get him going a little bit, learn the system. And then, you know, like I said, through attrition and some injuries, we had to bring him up and fill in a role for us there at the free safety spot. And then here's Trayvon Green here on the scramble. It was, I want to say, 3rd and long. He ends up coming with the first down, making a big run there for us to help us out. And then now we're transitioning into the game last night against New Hanover. We ended up again, starting out kind of slow. I believe we got a 3 and out in the first drive, and this is the second drive here. Started to pick up a little bit momentum going into that second drive, kind of filling things out. It's a great read there by Trayvon Green and getting upfield and making a play.
That's a drive that started on your own 4-yard line. You went 96 yards actually for a touchdown.
It sure did. We started. They had a great punt, put us back a little bit, and then there's Amik Watkins doing a great job getting upfield, getting some yards after contact, broke a few tackles there. And there's Jemias Beckett doing what he does best. You know, we call him an F-150 man. He's a truck. He's a load. He's one of the strongest kids on our team, squatting over 500 pounds, power cleaning down there 300, bench pressing over 300 pounds, and then there he is again, taking it to the house for the first score of the ball game, getting momentum in our direction. They ended up coming right back. We were fighting down there in that goal line, and they ended up scoring on this drive. But you know, I'm just proud of the effort that the kids had. You know, with our backs against the wall, it was a tough situation, and ended up coming up with some great stops. They had to fight for everything they had in that particular drive. And then after they scored, coming in on the kickoff, and then again they kicked it to Jemias Beckett. I think this was the last time they ended up kicking it to him for the night, and you'll see why in just a second. He's a load. He can take it to the house at any time. He's a great athlete, deceptive speed, can move. There he is with the spin move there. Just getting upfield and putting us in position to be successful on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, talk about Jemias also. We didn't get to some of the highlights that you had in all facets of the game, really,
Right.
for him. Offense, special teams, and then on defense, he was matched up against Garrett Walston,
Yes,
the
sir.
big 6'4" tight end, and he was out on an island with him for most of the night, and he held his own for the most part.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. Like I said earlier, does a lot of great things. You know, but you know, looking from a team perspective, we got a lot of things to clean up. You know, offensively, defensively, with the penalties, and then we had a lot of MEs in that game that ended up hurting us. But we got another tough one coming up this week that we got to get ready for. A short week.
Back-to-back games against New Hanover and Hoggard. Probably, or the most definitely, the hardest part of your schedule, obviously, and having to play them, I guess, in the same week now. At least you had a Friday and Friday in between, but Monday against New Hanover, a Friday against Hoggard. Obviously, you should have no problem getting the boys up, though, heading into Friday night's game.
No, we shouldn't. You know, those guys being a crosstown rival, it's a great atmosphere. Looking forward to the opportunity to play. It's going to be a tough one. You know, they love to run the ball. They got some big guys up front, and then offensively, and defensively as well. You know, they got some big guys up front, and they fly to the football, so it's going to be a great matchup.
Laney coach Ashad Yeoman. The Bucs are 2-1 in conference right now, looking to get back in the win column Friday night at Scott Braswell Stadium in a big matchup along Shipyard Boulevard. Coach, good to catch up with you, and I'll be seeing you on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Sports Roundtable. We'll catch up with their other coaches from across New Hanover County. Also, watch for our player interviews later on in the show with the folks from Hoggard. We'll be right back. Hey football fans, welcome back to Sports Roundtable, our weekly look at high school football across New Hanover County. I'm Joe Katz from PortCityDaily.com. You can catch all the high school highlights each and every day on our website for free online, again at PortCityDaily.com. The New Hanover Wildcats are 2-0 in conference, 5-2 overall, coming off a 30-14 win over Laney back on Monday night, and a great atmosphere at Holiday Stadium. It was homecoming night for the Bucs. The Wildcats were able to come away with a big second-half effort, really, to put away Laney again, 30-14. Burke Estes had 269 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Keegan Santos back in the lineup. I know Coach Smith was probably happy to see him in the backfield. He had 2 touchdowns in the win as well. That will bring us to our next guest, New Hanover High School football coach Earl Smith. And Coach, congratulations on the win. Now 2-0 in conference in the driver's seat here as we head down the stretch of the league schedule.
Thank you, Joe. It was probably our best third quarter. Our third quarters have not been that good this year to us, and you know, we were ahead by the field goal at halftime, and I think we came back out and played strong defense and did the 2 scores, which gave us some little bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, obviously, I think too. You had 2 possessions there at the end of the first half. At the beginning of the third quarter, you were able to come away with 13 points, but you kept their offense off the field, and they couldn't really get going anymore offensively. And that was really, I think, the factor in the win. As we look at some of the highlights now, I know there were some highlights. It was a sloppy track, as you can see out at Laney back on Monday. Here on the defense, obviously, Coach, your defensive line has come through over the last couple of weeks for you.
Really improving. Yeah. Our K-Twan Hill, our left end, had a heck of a night, and again, we're doing a real good job of pursuit, getting a lot of people to the ball, and playing with aggression, the type of defense we really like. Our kicking game was big. Here, Harrison Hardy, a nice punt with a nice roll, comes down to about the 1 or 4, but you know, pinned them back. Yeah, Garrett made some great catches on Monday night. Got us out of the hole 2 or 3 times when we were 3rd and long. And having Keegan back, you know, that gives us more depth with he and Trey. We can also use Trey at our speed position also. Here, Keegan gets a touchdown. He's basically been out since the first game with his shoulder injury. Once again, good pursuit there. Josh Blackburn with the tackle of our outside linebackers. Defensive 2 guys inside, Jemias Williams and middle linebacker. Here's Keegan on one of his big runs. Again, that was another 3rd and long. Excellent hustle here by Nigel Hines on the punt to get the fumble for us. Here's our field goal right with 6.7 seconds left at the half. Gave us a 3-point lead. Josiah Easton, our kicker, has 3 field goals over the last 3 weeks, which is big. Nice screen here to Lamont, just a junior. And
Lamont had a touchdown catch in the game as well for you.
He did. He's kicking on a long one. Thought he was going to take it to the house, but great effort there by the young man from Laney. Keegan puts it in there, puts us up 17-7. 16-7, we missed the extra point.
First drive there, or the first drive of the second half for you.
Yep. There's Lamont on that, another long catch. So the wisdom bomb. Again, great pursuit by the defense.
Big 72 there, Jemias Williams. The last couple of weeks we've been talking about his effort. He had a tipped pass in the Hoggard game, and then really was clogging up those running holes to prevent the Laney from rushing.
He's just a junior too, and he's just getting better every week.
And one of those highlights we did not see in that game later on, kind of that capped the scoring, was a great pass from Estes to Garrett Walston, a 28-yard touchdown pass. Really, Garrett Walston obviously committing to the University of North Carolina last week, and then able to get his 2 feet down right in the corner of the end zone for a nice touchdown catch.
That was great effort.
So you're 5-2 overall right now, 2-0 in conference, as we kind of said, in the driver's seat right now. With that said, you have a quick turnaround once again. At least we'll get back to some type of normalcy, we hope, on Friday with weather permitting. You play a West Brunswick team that you can't take lightly, obviously.
Absolutely not. They've had some big wins this year, and you know, you got to play every game the same. And you know, we set our goal to win a conference, and you got to take them one at a time. And guys done a pretty good job of that. Came out a little flat Monday on offense, but overall, good effort.
I think getting back to the regular schedule and games on Friday night rather than having a day off on Sunday and then seeing what we're going to come up with on a Monday will help the Wildcats moving forward. Coach Earl Smith of the New Hanover High School football team. Coach, congratulations on the win, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Sports Roundtable. We'll catch up with our Hoggard High School football players right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Roundtable as we continue our conversation this evening with the football coaches from New Hanover County following Week 8 of the season, heading into Week 9 on Friday night, weather permitting, as I keep mentioning, because of all the scheduling changes that we've had. As I mentioned, we will be catching up with the Hoggard football players this week. Coach Craig Underwood off the set, making sure, keeping a close eye on his players as they come off their bye week, and Omar Jones, number 53, number 88, Hunter Louthan, the tight end captains on both sides of the ball. Fellas, welcome to the show, and it's going to be fun talking with you guys over the next couple of minutes.
Sir, thank you.
Omar, we'll start with you, man, on the defensive end, defensive side of the ball. Obviously, the Vikings are actually, before we even talk about some of the season, a new coach this season. Coach Underwood has been there for a while under direction of him for the last couple of years, but maybe we could talk about Coach Underwood and maybe some of the differences him and Coach Braswell have had, or just maybe some of just some general thoughts on what this season has been like with Coach Underwood at the helm.
He keeps around the same program, just kind of hard to practice. He emphasis on pursuit, running, making everything perfect.
Well, I know Coach Braswell may be more of the light-hearted guy, in front of the camera. Coach Underwood definitely brings a little more fire to the sidelines for you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Coach Braswell, he might have been lighthearted on camera, but he definitely could bring fire to practice. I think Coach Underwood tries to bring the same intensity Coach Braswell brought to practice as well.
With that said, you guys coming off a tough loss, obviously, to New Hanover at Allegiant Stadium a couple weeks back. You've had a week to kind of swallow that and get back to practice and return the focus to Friday night against Laney. Omar, what has been the focus here over the last week or so to get you geared up to get back on the football field come Friday night?
To practice hard. The coach is going to draw out the game plan and make it that it executed on paper. We got to go out on the field and do it.
Hunter, at the tight end position, not a glamour position compared to the quarterback or the wide receivers or the running backs, but a position that's really important in the blocking game, obviously in the passing game too. Over the last couple of weeks, you've scored a touchdown pass in the New Hanover game. Talk about the jump and kind of the experience that you've had over the last couple of years and it's coming into fruition this season, your senior year.
Well, I mean, coming into Hoggard's program, it's kind of like they expect excellence, and so you get to know that over the years. And now as a senior, it's sort of my job and I guess our job to lead and pass down that expectation to the other players. And as a tight end, I guess you get like the best of both worlds. Hoggard, we pound the ball real well, and then we've been passing the ball pretty well over the past couple games.
Well, you've become more of a factor in the passing game over the last couple of weeks too. Is that something that you guys have kind of worked into the game plan, or is just because you're the open man, you're getting the rock?
I guess I'm the open man, I'm getting the rock. It just depends week to week what defense we're playing. I think Coach Dimmick does a great job game planning for that defense. So.
Omar, you lost a lot of pieces to the puzzle last year on the defensive end of the ball heading into this season. You're the captain and the guy that people are looking to really take the Hoggard defense to the next level this year. How has the unit progressed over the last couple of weeks as you head kind of through the middle part of the conference schedule?
There have been some big shoes to fill, but leadership, just being the family, coming together, make us a better defense all together, all 11 guys on the field. Like when a big play happens, don't lay each other down, pick each other up, and practicing hard day by day.
Well, I know every football team and any team in sports really come around the family unit and that type of recipe for success. But I know at Hoggard specifically, you guys really hone in on what it means to be one as a unit. And how important is that for the success of the Vikings as you continue through the season?
Very important, because after a loss, teams tend to divide and blame each other, and you got to come together after a tough loss. God, faith, and family. Family football.
You head into a game against Laney, Hunter, on Friday night. Scott Braswell Stadium. It's going to be good to get back, obviously, to your home field. You've had a week to kind of chomp at the bit, swallow that tough loss against New Hanover. You guys are ready to come out there on Friday and put up a good performance.
Yes, sir. We're definitely ready. I think we'll have a big crowd out there with it being homecoming. We definitely want to go out and win the rest of the games this season. Hopefully Hanover will slip up so we can have a shot at the conference title, but we're going to do our best to, win out.
Well, obviously, still very much in the playoff picture as long as you take care of your business moving forward. Omar, I guess as we kind of wrap up our conversation this evening, a couple of weeks back, the Hoggard fans had a chance to set some type of decibel record at the game, and they reached something like 114 decibels or something. And I know it was at halftime, so you guys were kind of in the locker room. But what's the feeling like when you're out there on Friday night to be able to hear a crowd that loud and that enthusiastic supporting you guys?
It adds energy to the defense, adds energy to the whole team. I think it boosts us on the field, and definitely if you make a big play, makes you feel good out there.
Omar Jones, Hunter Louthan, the two Hoggard captains joining us here on Sports Roundtable. Fellas, great job tonight and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Sports Roundtable. Again, I'm Joe Catanacci. Thanks again to Omar Jones, number 53, number 88, Hunter Louthan. We've seen him plenty of times on these highlights throughout the weeks here on Sports Roundtable. And again, a great job by the two fellows here on stage with me this evening. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Roundtable, our Week 8 edition of the show as we look at high school football across New Hanover County. I'm Joe Catanacci from PortCityDaily.com, where you can find all your score stats and highlights from all the high school sports across the area each and every day, again at PortCityDaily.com. Last but not least, the Ashley Screaming Eagles on homecoming night on a Monday picked up a 21-7 win over Topsail. They really chewed it up on the ground. They had 240 yards on the ground and rushing. 144 of those yards was a result of Caleb Parker, the quarterback, a junior for the Screaming Eagles. Bradley Plyer went in the end zone twice. Ashley really took advantage of good field position early in the game and 3 Topsail turnovers, which really put them in front, and they were able to hold on to the lead, holding Topsail to just 98 yards of total offense for the game throughout all 4 quarters. So that brings us to Ashley. First-year coach Jeff Turner, and coach, coming off a 21-7 victory. I know that you've played out of the 8 weeks this season. You've played maybe 1 or 2 games on a Friday night, so another challenge for you this week on a Monday. It was homecoming night. You snapped a 14-game skid inside the Mid-Eastern Conference, so must be feeling pretty good right now to get that W.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. It was a great crowd. We still had a great gate. The crowd was terrific. We have great fans over there at Ashley, and you always worry about. We've been going 2 games a week. And we finally, get this Monday night at home, and thankfully we came through, and the kids played really hard. They were ready to play, and defensively we really shut them down and worked with a short field. Offensively, we capitalized on the short field and did a great job that way. So I was credit to our kids, and now we're getting ready for Friday, which is only a few days away.
Yeah, so 2 games once again in the same week, but you're 1-1 in conference right now, heading into a Friday matchup on the road against South Brunswick, a team that has struggled this season as well. But with that said, a tough time. Anytime you got to take the ride down to Brunswick County, but a very winnable game for you come Friday night.
Yeah, you know what? Every game we look at the same, and football is a demanding game, and you just never know what could happen in a game. So we have to really be focused and ready to go no matter who we play. And going up to Brunswick County hasn't been our friend lately, so we need to really focus extra tough for this game.
Well, I know as we take a look at some of the game highlights from back on Monday night, again, the 21-7 win over Topsail. You got the running game going, and then on defense as well, obviously holding them to 98 yards of offense.
I was really proud of our defense. They just really brought it together and really having fun out there and playing strong. And that was a good offense. They have a Shrine Bowl kid on the line, and coach is a really good offensive line coach, Wayne Inman for Topsail. And I was proud of our kids, man. They just kept fighting and just kept getting after it. And so I was proud of them. That's a good offense.
One of the things that I've seen over the last couple of weeks from the Ashley defense is the amount of shirts and helmets to the ball once you get one guy on the tackle.
Yeah, I mean that's defense. It's all about everyone swarming, getting to the ball. We created some great opportunities. We created, I believe it was 4 turnovers. ripping ball and trying to get that ball, and so that helped us to get some offensive momentum. And again, the guys up front are just doing an outstanding job. I mean, they're fighting in there and they're playing hard. Offensively, we took advantage of the short field, and you know, again, Caleb sort of brought it to. That's Bradley Plyler, hits it and goes, and that was a big score for us right there.
Yeah, put you on the board there. That 36-yard touchdown run from Bradley Plyer continues to pile up on his touchdown totals this year.
Right. Just everyone getting after the ball, playing position. Down at the goal line again. I think the offensive line really grew a little bit. They're so young and really, I think, grew in that first half. Second half, I think Topsail picked it up a little bit, and that's something we have to correct to make sure that we finish offensively. Freddie Thames right here. Freddie's a great kid. He's only a 10th grader. He's done such a good job, and he works very hard. But again, we have 10th graders playing varsity football, and a lot of 11th graders, so that's a good thing.
Thames scored on that 1-yard rush too earlier in the highlight reel.
Yeah, Freddie's worked very hard. He's a great kid to coach. Another turnover by the D. Offensively, I think this is a little QB ISO, and Caleb brings it down about 8 yards.
Caleb, you know, dealing with some injuries this season, but right there, that's like a real hard run from him in between the tackles.
Yeah, he played awful hard. He's still not 100%. Here's Caleb again on a QB read. He hits it, and he's fast. He can run, and great job finding that airspace in there.
I mean, you put up 240 yards on the ground last night, and you talked about the Topsail team, and they've come out, you know, in the second half. But anytime you put up 240 yards on the ground, you got to say that your offensive line had a pretty good push in there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a win-win. If you have defense that's playing great defense, short fields, and then a great running game, good special teams, that's a remedy to win. So I was proud of the offense. We have to build on that. Now we have to be consistent and make sure that we, you know, take care of our business going to Friday. And there's always, you know, with the young bunch and with some of the past, we have to make sure that we take care of this Friday night, and they're not going to lay down on us at all.
Ashley, first-year coach Jeff Turner here on Sports Roundtable. Coach Turner, congrats on the win. I look forward to seeing the result on Friday night down in Boiling Springs Lake.
All right, thank you.
It's Ashley, first-year coach Jeff Turner here. That'll do it for our latest edition of Sports Roundtable. We'll be back next week with Week 9 highlights, Week 9 interviews with all 4 of our coaches from across New Hanover County. For everyone inside the New Hanover County Schools TV studio, I'm Joe Catanacci, and we'll see you next time.